Space traveling. Learning objectives. What is a space? Astronomy and astronaut. Spacewalker. Indian astronaut. When you look up at the night sky, you see stars and sometimes the moon and the brighter planets. Away from city lights, on a clear night, you might see the beautiful band of the Milky Way, stretching across the sky. Is there anything else up there in space? Let's take a closer look. Stars in sky. What is a space? Outer space begins about 100 kilometers above the Earth, where the shell of air around our planet disappears. With no air to spread sunlight and produce a blue sky, space appears as a black blanket dotted with stars. Space is usually regarded as being completely empty. But this is not true. The vast gaps between the stars and planets are filled with huge amounts of thinly spread gas and dust. Even the emptiest parts of space contain at least a few hundred atoms or molecules. Space is also filled with many forms of radiation that are dangerous. Much of this infrared and ultraviolet radiation comes from the sun. High-energy X-rays, gamma rays and cosmic rays, particles traveling close to the speed of light, arrive from distant star systems. Scientists have invented and designed special vehicles that have the speed and strength to escape the Earth's pull and travel into space. These vehicles are known as spacecrafts. A spacecraft is huge and heavy machines that are made to travel in space. A spacecraft can explore a variety of things in space. Spacecraft. Astronomy and astronaut. Astronomy is the study of the sun, moon, stars, planets, comets, galaxies and other non-earthly bodies and phenomena. An astronaut is a person who is specially trained to travel into outer space. Astronauts have to experience large training and testing to participate in a space mission. They must show that they can handle the physical hardness from the high gravity of launch to the weightlessness of orbit. They also must be technically knowledgeable and able to handle stressful situations. Astronaut. Spacewalker. On October 4, 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik I. It was a liquid-fueled rocket built by Sergei Korolev. The first artificial Earth satellite took about 98 minutes to complete one orbit. On November 3, 1957, the Soviets launched Sputnik II that included a passenger, a dog named Laika. On April 12, 1961, cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin, in Vostok I, became the first human in space. In 1963, Valentina Tereshkova from the Soviet Union became the first woman to move in space. On July 20, 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first person to walk on the moon. Yuri Gagarin, Valentina Tereshkova, Neil Armstrong. Sci facts. In space, no one can hear you scream. This is because there is no air in space. It is a vacuum. Sound waves cannot travel through a vacuum. Indian astronaut. When Rakesh Sharma flew aboard the Soyuz T-11 on April 2 in 1984, he became the first Indian to go into space. He spent 7 days 21 hours and 40 minutes in space. Rakesh Sharma. Kalpana Chawla was the first Indian-American astronaut and first Indian woman in space. She traveled into space in 1997 and 2003. She died on February 1, 2003 when her space shuttle Columbia crashed on its return journey. Kalpana Chawla. Sunita Williams is also an Indian-American astronaut. She is the second woman of Indian origin to travel in space. Sunita Williams. Summary. With no air to spread sunlight and produce a blue sky, space appears as a black blanket dotted with stars. Spacecrafts are huge and heavy machines that are made to travel in space. An astronaut is a person who is specially trained to travel into outer space. Rakesh Sharma was the first Indian to go into space. Keywords. Spacecraft, A craft capable of traveling in outer space. Astronaut. A person who either travels into space or who is trained to travel into space.